UFO Buster Radio, episode number 292, the Saturday edition. Welcome back. I figured this weekend, because it's a holiday weekend here in the United States, I might be able to get an episode in today, tomorrow, and definitely on Monday. And Monday, it's going to be a bit of a tribute to veterans, because it is Veterans Day. So that episode might happen a little early in the day, just to spread the joy of the message of that holiday that's being observed. But welcome back. Again, I'm Manny Moonraker. We're here to talk about some UFO news and also SpaceX. SpaceX seems to be kind of making some moves. Yeah, they are putting their plans together. And the guys down there at Boca Chica that did not sell their homes by now, and really I don't even have an update on that, so I have no idea what's going on at Boca Chica, except for what was just announced by a Cameron County judge. And we're going to talk about that coming up. Those are our news reports for today. North Carolina is abuzz with UFOs, and Cameron County about to shut it all down. So you guys get ready. There's a lot of SpaceX movement going on. So we're gonna take a look at that real quick. But in the meantime, as I usually say, which actually I think I've forgotten in the last 2-3 podcasts, if you like the podcast, I don't care where you are. If you're in France, you're in Switzerland, you're in South Africa, Japan, China, India, the U.S., of course, Canada, Australia, Brazil, Germany. The list goes on and on. If you're anywhere in the United States and you're listening right now to UFO Buster Radio, hit the pause button. Just pause. Australia, Canada, just hit the pause button and do the one thing that's going to make this podcast flourish, and that is share it. That's all you got to do to ensure that the Moonraker is here for at least another 1 or 2 years. Just hit share. It's that easy. You can back that up with a like. And if you really want to get fancy, pick up the phone, call your mama and your dada, your uncle, your sister, your brother, even that one uncle who's in the back room somewhere, tied up next to the radiator that has no teeth. Call him too. He might not be able to answer, but maybe he gets text messages. I don't know. Spread the word. Now I know there's a lot of people out there who are, I don't know, they can't take the F word. That I'm not talking about friends, or the B word, or the S word. But tell them to grow a pair and just, be cool. Because beyond the cuss words, I guarantee there is a message there somewhere, and they should be able to enjoy it just like you, to be honest. If I could really be completely honest, they can. And it's a disservice for you not to get that message to them. That's all I'm saying. Besides that, hopefully tomorrow, that one video that I promised, the video number 2, because I'm tinkering with technology, hopefully by tomorrow evening, it'll be up on YouTube, and you guys can go watch it. And my hope and prayer is that basically by the time I do tomorrow's podcast, that video will be published and ready to go for your viewing pleasure entirely. But beyond that, we're going to get into this podcast episode. But before we get in there, I did pick a song today specifically for SpaceX. It's called Mars Adventure. So enjoy that for the next 3 minutes. And then I'll come back to torture you with some SpaceX BS. That's a pretty funky song, and I could imagine Elon Musk sitting at the head of the Starship craft on the way to Mars and just kind of dozing off to that song, you know, because he is hyper himself, and that kind of song probably would not keep him awake. It just doze him out totally. I don't know why that came to mind. That's just the way it is. Let's just get into the news report. From investors.com, it turns out that SpaceX is about to double its internet satellites in orbit. Yeah, that just happened. By the way, if you hear any snoring in the background, that would be Bugs the UFO hunter. He's actually done hunting for today, and he decided to take a nap during the podcast. SpaceX is about to launch and deploy the next batch of Starlink internet satellites, and that's scheduled for this coming Monday morning. That launch is going to happen early in the a.m. Eastern Standard Time at 9:51 a.m. coming out of Kennedy Space Center in Cape Canaveral, Florida. Now this is I don't know, it's kind of like a warm, not so fuzzy feeling for me. It turns out that they're going to deploy an additional 60. So back in May, they launched 60 prototype satellites. They're going to pony up and double that situation in space with another 60. The funny thing is that initially, 2 of them were taken out because of the orbiting tests, but then 3 other ones had malfunctions of that original 60, but they're going to double down and deploy another 60. According to SpaceX, the plan is to continue to deploy 60 satellites every time they launch, because they're saying that they need about 400 Starlink satellites in order to have a minor broadband internet coverage. What does that mean for me and you? Nobody fucking knows. Why does SpaceX need worldwide coverage of internet? Let's just sit back for a second and think about that. 400 satellites in order to have a minimal broadband coverage. Basically shitty internet. If you have an internet provider right now that you call every other week and complain that your bill is too fucking high, but your speeds are always being throttled down, that's what SpaceX is going to have, basically, when they hit the 400 mark. But they're saying they're not going to stop there. Eventually, they want to hit 800 satellites in orbit to reach moderate. But if that doesn't tickle your fancy, if that doesn't really get your brain going, ask yourself, why would SpaceX need 40,000 satellites in order to offer space-based internet services? And which rubber-dicking company on the planet is going to be okay with that? It really seems to me that SpaceX is really setting up their own company. I mean, this is not really about the people now, is it? It seems to me that they're setting up themselves to be gajillionaires. Yeah, because I could imagine them selling all that coverage to companies that are terrestrial for a price. Yeah, continue to do your fiber optics or whatever it is you do, but the faster coverage is going to come from me, Elon Musk. So you guys got to pay me. No matter what country you're in, if you're an internet provider, you might have to pay Musk for the best coverage ever. I mean, listen, the guy thinking about going to Mars or the moon or whatever, he's not going to be broke anytime soon. And these plans just look towards getting him richer and richer as he goes along. But, you know, the idea is, hey, we are going to bring the internet to the entire planet. 40,000 satellites, even in people in fucking Zimbabwe. They're going to be back there running through the freaking Serengeti, right? Riding elephants and looking at their iPads. Could you see that? Could you see that happening? Basically, the most remote places on the planet are going to have internet access for a price. I highly doubt that this is going to be free. That Elon's going to give away all this money he's spending and putting all these satellites in space for free for anyone to have. And I'm sure, you know, you got to put that good foot forward and you got to say, hey, you know, if you're part of a church or you're some kind of thanks, Bugs, or you're some kind of a alcohol recovery type of situation like Alcoholics Anonymous, you might get half off. I don't know. It's just really fishy to me that a lot of people really believe that Elon Musk is basically giving the world internet and really isn't going to charge anybody for it. Who the fuck is going to pay for these satellites? All 40,000 of them. Some people really got to wake up. Wake up and smell the coffee. This is corporate America at its best. There will be a charge for this. Someone will pay it. Don't think it's free. But think about it again. The allegiances. Follow the money. The allegiances for him right now. And the fact that the internet really came about as a military project. What military on the planet would not love to have the internet everywhere they went, uninterrupted, and with the ability to always be connected worldwide? I don't know. Again, I don't think this is about the people. Honestly, I don't think it ever was. Something to keep an eye on, because there's some lunacy going on here. There really is. And then if you're shooting up, I think the last report, where did I say that? When actually I saw somewhere that he says he needed, 1,000 starships or something like that? How the fuck are you gonna shoot up 1,000 starships through 4,000 satellites? The idea of traffic really doesn't really faze him. Anyway, he builds fucking tunnels, right? He's gonna build a tunnel through space to get his starships through the shitload of debris he's got around the planet. Because on the planet Earth, he says, hey, you don't need highways. You don't need... Just get into one of my tunnels that I'm going to dig for you. And again, comes for a price, right? Total price. At the end of the day, I guess it's... I don't know. You got to weigh it out. Is the advancements that SpaceX and Elon Musk presenting to humanity the price that we're eventually going to pay? No doubt the guy's a genius. Shit, he's setting up himself one of the biggest paydays ever. On so many levels. Thanks, Bugs. But besides that, I mean, really, can you argue with that? Is it really something that we should take... offense to? If he's bringing us so much advancement in science, space exploration, should we really give two fucks? I don't know. Well, I'll put that all to you guys. What do you care? Does it matter that Elon's probably going to make a shitload of money, probably triple his company's income, revenue, just because he makes people happy about space, about internet, about electric cars. Something you got to think about. What is the underlying reason for this? We do have a listener on who says she can't hear anything. That is a problem. If you're on a podcast and you can't hear things, that's no buenos, muchachos. No buenos at all. Let's go into the next episode story, also regarding Musk himself. SpaceX strikes again. Recently, if you guys even went to my YouTube, because I know some of you didn't, to check out the video that I had from when I did the quick drop-in to Boca Chica, Texas, and take some pictures of the Starship and the Hopper, the R2-D2, you would know that since that time, they put the Starship together, had a bit of a conference, and then they took it apart. Well, it sounds like that the Starship significant hop, a really good test that's going to put it several miles up above the state of Texas, might be around the corner. The test of the Starship. If you look on YouTube, you'll see that right now, in the last week, they've been putting things together. They've moved the bottom half of the Starship to the launch pad, which is near the Hopper. And on top of that, the top section, the cone section, actually has the, what they say, the canards attached to it. Those are those fins at the very top. They are moving at a fever pitch. And the reason why might be in this news article. Cameron County announces temporary road closure of SpaceX testing. Yeah, Boca Chica Beach. Boca Chica. Cameron County Judge Eddie Trevino has announced temporary road closures of SpaceX testing. There is one fucking road that goes down there. Yeah, it's not like multiple roads all over the place. Once you pass a residential area, it's just one road. You see a lot of sand dunes, a lot of open space, a lot of sky. And if you make it all the way down to the end, past where the launch pad is, you find yourself with a lot of fucking beach in the way. A lot of beach, a lot of surf, plenty of waves. But for you guys, on November 12th, between the hours of 12 noon Central Standard Time and 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, that road will be shut down. Like, if you want to go there, you need to show that you're a resident. Otherwise, you're too far fucked. You're not going anywhere. The judge, Mr. Trevino, says he ordered the closure of Highway 4 and Boca Chica Beach for the purpose of protecting public health and the safety during SpaceX testing activities on November 12th between the hours I just stated. On that day, there is also an alternative date and time, which will be November 13th, between also 12 p.m. noon Central Standard Time and 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So, and actually, it even goes all the way up to the 14th. So basically, is anyone's fucking, guess. Some shit's about to go down in Boca Chica from the 12th down to the 14th. One of those days, it appears to me that the Starship will be taking off. The judge already has put his press release forward, so you're going to hear from SpaceX pretty soon, pretty shortly, about their test of the Starship. Which pretty much sucks, because I was really hoping this was fall on a weekend day. That way I could hit down there and record it taking off. But it sounds like they're not screwing around. Like they're shutting the road down. They're not letting people get too fucking near. But when you think about it, they're going to go from one Raptor engine to 3. If that shit just happened to crash, fuck. I know all those people who didn't sell their houses are going to wish they did. Because they're going to be scared shitless if the Starship comes down on them. So if you're down there, down in the Cameron County area, you can just fucking forget about having access to State Highway 4 from FM 419 over by Oklahoma Avenue. The entrance to Boca Chica Beach. So just forget about it. I would assume that there's going to be a shitload of people amassing those 3 days. Just waiting with drones and all kind of shit. And by the way, there's actually signs all up and down SpaceX saying that there are fines for anyone that flies drones in that area. And they are pretty much prohibited. I think the fine that was quoted was like, starts at like about $500. $500 if you fly a drone in that area. But if you look on YouTube, you will see a shitload of drone videos going on. So some people are not listening or they have deep pockets. I don't know what it is. But keep your eyes and ears peeled. Because it looks like the Starship is about to take off. And I'm pretty sure it will be a magnificent sight. Not only to see it live, even on video, but to hear it, because from what I understand, those Raptor engines, they shake the world. Some might see that as lunacy. Sarah, I have no idea why you can't listen to the podcast, and you're probably sitting around saying, what the hell is going on? kind of like Aaron Bostic, 33, out of North Carolina. Strange rotating disc caught on video by drivers stuck in North Carolina traffic. But the question is it a UFO? It turns out that in the last month or so, there have been 11 UFO sightings that were logged by experts last month in North Carolina. But this one makes it the baker's dozen. Well, I guess I wouldn't. That would make it 13, wouldn't it? This is number 12. It's a full dozen. Basically, it turns out that near Shelby, about 50 miles west of Charlotte, Aaron was stuck in traffic and he caught himself a UFO. Yeah. But not only did he catch it, he was an intrepid UFO tracking type of guy because he pulled out his camera and decided to record it. After recording it, he published it on YouTube. Because what the fuck else are you going to do with it? I mean, you've got the video, right? I mean, you can go around showing people what you see, but if you want a larger audience, you publish that shit on YouTube. Because people on there will continuously repost it, put it in their own videos, talk about it, Security Team Tenet. I mean, you know how it goes. That basically is what happens, man. They will publish that over and over again. According to the video, if you look at it, the disc-like object actually remained stationary over Cleveland County for several minutes before it just vanished. Gone. How many people were probed October 25th in Cleveland County? That's what I want to know. Anybody lose time? Anybody feeling sore in the posterior? That's what I want to know. It was the morning rush of October 25th when Aaron Bostic, 33, found himself face to face while he sat in traffic with the UFO. He says he was stuck in traffic on US 74 in Shelby when he spotted the diamond-shaped object glowing really brightly against a cloudy sky. From his perspective, it looked like it was rotating. And here's a quote from Aaron. It says, "It really stuck out like a sore thumb. I kept thinking that maybe it was a plane landing at Charlotte Douglas International Airport, or maybe it was a really big stunt drone, but it stayed in the same spot for 2 minutes." My thing is, shouldn't you be driving, Aaron? Really? 2 minutes? That traffic was not that fucking bad for you to be driving and freaking staring at something in the sky. But that's the way we're going to find stuff, I guess. That's the way it is. He says, honestly, I don't know what it was, and nobody at work who has seen the video knows what it was either, he added. I'm not a believer in any kind of stuff. Are you fucking serious? That's why you spend 2 minutes staring at random shit in the sky? Stop lying to yourself, Aaron. Come on. But then he says, but we've had all this come out, UFOs and military. There you go. Let's just pause there. That is the benefit, again, of To The Stars Academy and the Tic Tac video and everything else that's happened over the last 3 years. This guy who says he's not a believer, he wasn't into all of this, but all of a sudden, because the UFOs and military stories that have come out as of late, now you sort of have to question what you believe in. That was his words, literally, as it was quoted in the article. Now, of course, it's YouTube, and YouTube is filled with rubber dickers and haters and oh my. So he has some explanations that were posted by viewers on his YouTube, because we all do. Somebody's got to give their 2 cents, maybe 3. Sometimes it goes really far and they'll give you like a full fucking nickel. But some of the people said, hey, maybe it's a weather balloon or ball lightning. Or maybe what National Geographic describes as glowing electrical orbs. He says, I can't really tell if it's a Goodyear type blimp or if one of the silvery cigar-shaped UFOs. And that was a comment that was made by Molly Lenore, posted on YouTube. Bostic says he considered that it was a helicopter, but there's no flashing lights, and says he really didn't have the right contours to be a blimp, because it did say it's a bit triangular, so not too many triangular blimps out there. I just want to tell you. And the truth is that blimps don't fucking spin on their axis at all. They just go forward and back, up and down. They don't fucking spin. They don't rotate. At least none of the ones I ever saw. There was another video that's getting people in North Carolina to think about things before they made it to Aaron's video. And that was the one off of the North Carolina's Outer Banks, which got complete and total international attention because the military said that they didn't have any lights that were linked to training or any operations in that video that had to do with a shitload of fucking lights off the coast. That one was posted by William Guy. It was a 31-second video on September the 28th on YouTube showing what appears to be 14 glowing orbs over the water, which he refers to as real UFO sightings. It's one thing to have a UFO sighting, but then to have the military deny that they were doing anything, it kind of helps your cause. Is there a UFO wave over North Carolina? What's really going on over there? Second month, we have all kind of shit being reported there. The link to both these articles, actually 3 articles, in the description. But if you want to look at this video that was posted by Aaron Bostic, that article has a link in there also. So check it out. Take a look at what he was reporting that was rotating in the sky while he was supposed to be paying attention to fucking traffic. He'll never be in a Geico commercial, that's for sure. Fuck, I wouldn't even be on the road with him. Keep both hands on the wheel. But he caught this video. People have no idea what the fuck it is. He did the one thing that a lot of people don't do, and that is he went around showing the video to people he knows to get that perspective first. And then he took it to the general public, which everyone should do. Don't be afraid. Put it out there. Check it out. Record it. Talk about it. Let the world see it. Because if there weren't people that would do that, we wouldn't have the Fravors of the world. We wouldn't have people who were willing to put their necks out on the line, their careers, and their reputation to kind of blow off what could be one of the most significant cover-ups in world history. This is it. This is the end of episode 292. I thank you guys for coming by. Sarah, I don't know what happened. I don't know why you couldn't listen to it. But I'm sure you'll be able to catch the replay. You'll be good to go. But I decided to go a little country on this last song as I do the outro. It's called The Bayou. Because why the fuck not? Check you guys out tomorrow. Ciao.